Friends, are you ready? We're going to redo this jack-o'-lantern sign. Hey everybody, it's Colette with Blessings Craft Therapy if you didn't know, and if you did, thank you so much for coming back. All right, so I have these placemats from Dollar Tree. I have this one, and then I have the other one that says thankful. I also have this sign on my table is a jack-o'-lantern sign. We are going to, see there it is, we're going to flip it over. We're not even going to do anything to that side. We're just going to flip it over and we're going to do the other side. Now all I did was cut the edges off of the placemats. Each of the edges, just cut them off, and that way we have two different pieces of fabric. Now you have an orange one and then you have the other one. Then I take some, this is Mod Podge, just regular matte Mod Podge, and I cover the bottom, and then I add my placemat that we got down to 1 ply. And I kind of adjusted it so that the thankful was obviously straight-ish. And then I just smooth it out. I did trim the edges a bit, but not a lot. It's a really thin fabric. If you have seen these before in Dollar Tree, they're really thin. So I flipped it over to trim it just a bit, but I didn't go crazy. And then I sanded the edges after that. So here we are, just trimming. I feel like a Hey Nemo moment. Trimming. Stop it. That's okay. Anyway, so there we go. And then when I flip it over, I also had to trim where this first pumpkin ends. So we're going to flip it back over, and I'm going to use my rotary cutter. And I'm just going to go over it that way. Now, okay, I probably should have used a ruler, but that's okay. It turned out all right. So then I, like I said, sanded it again. It gets a little frayed, and I like it. If you don't, then you might cut it perfectly. We're going to do the same thing with this next piece of placemat. I'm just cutting the edges, again, each side, and then now we have these two orange pieces. Save those because we're going to use those too. But here we're going to place this one on there, and then I'm actually using my gel pen to kind of mark where that pumpkin is. Not pumpkin. Well, yeah, the sign pumpkin part. And then we're going to trim it. Now, my original plan was to make that little like curvy kind of bottom edge of a pumpkin. That's what my original plan was. But I'll be honest with you, I was like, you know what, we're going to put florals on it. It wasn't necessary, and I didn't think that it looked good. So I wound up. So if you were to do this, you could just cut straight across. You don't have to do all of this fancy schmancy stuff. But that, again, and this just emphasizes that half the time when I show you the videos, I have a plan, and then next thing you know, we got to change it. So we just go with it, friends. We just go with it. It's fine. So there we go. So we're just trimming. Again, I recently found these placemats, so they should still be in the store, and it is really cool that you can do so. The sign is like double-sided, so for if you do Halloween, you could do the Halloween sign and then just flip it when it's done with Halloween. I know, I love a multi-purpose thing, right? So there it is, and we're going to do the same process that we did with the first one. We're going to put Mod Podge on the sign part, and then we're going to add our fabric. And like I had said before, I just cut it straight across. It didn't even need to be perfect because we're going to cover it with some florals. So here's the Mod Podge, and I'm just putting a nice thick layer. I mean, it's not globbed on, but it's fairly thick because this is a fabric, and you want to make sure that it's on there and it doesn't absorb all the Mod Podge and not stick to your sign. So then I just put that on there and smooth it out. Then I sanded off the edges. Again, if you don't like the sanding effect, then cut it perfect. And then see, I was like, I don't like that. So I just removed it with my rotary cutter, and it worked like a charm. Now we're going to do the very tippity top, and I'm going to use, remember those pieces of orange from the back of our placemats? We're going to put that on that part that we just put Mod Podge. So we're going to put this on, and then see how I did that, and I kind of smooth it out a little bit. Then I'm going to use some wax paper, put that on, and we're going to smooth it out that way. That way it doesn't stick all over your hands. It works out like a dream. So then I thought, you know what? It's not really dark enough for me. So I decided to add some more Mod Podge, and then we're going to put that other layer on it. Did I put the other layer? I don't think we did. I think I might have just folded this one over. Either way, you have two pieces. So if you want to put the second one on top, do that. If not, just fold it over. That works too. And there's that. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the wax paper on top of it and then smooth it out that way. So that way I don't get my hands yucky and it doesn't really pull on the fabric and make it go all over the place. So there's that. And I really smoothed it out. The cool thing is, look at the pattern it did. I don't know how it did that pattern, but I am there for it. I trimmed the excess and then I did sand it. Again, though, if you don't like the sanding, just make sure you make a good pattern and cut it out perfectly. I am not a cutout perfect person. And there it is. Look at how cool. Next, I'm going to use some jute. Got the jute at Dollar Tree. Put a little glue on the top, and then we're just going to add our jute and start wrapping that stem. Do you have to do this part? No, but I think it adds to it. I think it makes it look really cool. The only other thing is, just watch. If you don't take the raffia bow, which I didn't take the raffia bow off the front, that might get in the way. So just make sure that this jute is on the back side of that raffia bow. And I just keep adding a little glue here and there just to keep it on there. And then see how I flipped over my sign, put a little glue so that we can adhere the end of our jute, and look at adorbs. Next, I had these. This is like a garland from Dollar Tree, and it's just leaves, and I love them. So I'm just going to cut some of the leaves off of that, and we're going to also use this again from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to use a couple sprigs from that. If you know me, you know I am not good with florals, so I try my best, and you're going to love me through it. It's fine. So then we glue our florals onto that, and I love the colors. Like, oh, so pretty. And then we're going to glue on our cute little, what are they called? Leaves. Words are hard, friends. There's that. And I cut the stems off just because I didn't want them kind of poking out, but you don't have to do that part. It was just me being weird. I don't think that it would have done anything bad if I left it on, but there you go. So look at how pretty already. Like, quit it, right? I love it. So then we're going to go to the center, and for those, all I'm doing is just glue and add some more of the leaves. I just love this. I love these little garlands that Dollar Tree had, because I don't use them as garlands. I use them as, I just cut the leaves off. And I do the same thing for that third pumpkin. Could I have added more to it? Probably. But again, I was on borrowed time here. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I took some raffia, and this is how I make a raffia bow. I put a circle and then I pinch it in the center, and then we're just going to tie a piece of raffia in the center of that, and we have a bow. All you got to do is fluff it up a little bit. For this particular one, I wound up fluffing it up, and then I muss it up a lot because I like that distressed vibe. If you don't, then I wouldn't distress it like I did. So watch, you'll see. I kind of like, oh, this is nice, and then crunch. Roll it in my hands. It gets really messy, and I was there for it. But again, if that's not your vibe, don't do that part. You could even use fabric. You could use regular ribbon. But this, I just thought it worked really well. So there's that. And we're going to just add a little glue on the top. And what? That's it. That's it. Now you've got it's a twofer sign, right? You're welcome. Anyways, friends, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you're inspired.